Telling you, everybody has one. Why would we invite you, bro?
Focus.
Why? Why?
I'm telling you, man.
Hey, fam. Welcome back to yet another amazing episode of I'm Telling You.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, Ethel's in the house. The green room was effective, as always, because we, that's what we do. I mean, because I'm Philly D.
Mr. Gemini.
Clickety clack, effect checker, Miss JD.
We also get guests, which tonight we have a pretty dope guest, as always, because if they make it into the studio, they are bomb. Yeah, please, by all means, introduce yourself.
Guys, what up, Motives? It's your girl, Tone Motivates. As always, always love. You can catch me on all podcasting platforms at Shades of Tone, SHADES of Tone, TONE, and all social media, Tone Motivates or Shades of Tone _ Shades of Tone podcast. So I'm here ready to sprinkle stardust on everybody that I come across. So it's all about having a good mindset and knowing that you are worthy of anything that you want to do in life. It does not matter what you've been through. It does not define you. You are here for your own path. You are here for your own reason. And anything that you go through is just stepping stones to get you where you need to go. So we're all on our own journeys. Nobody's better than anyone else. You know what I mean? It's just like traffic. We go in and out. You know what I mean? I might be further than you in one way, you further than me in one way. But the point is to be around people that support you and are on your journey. Some people are just here for seasons. You know what I mean? They're here to teach you lessons, and that's it. So I know I'm Squirrel Moment, and that was my nickname as a kid too, Squirrel. So, you know.
Stay on the path.
You know.
Find your path and stay on it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I always say that it doesn't matter what it is you're attempting to obtain. I always reference it as like a mountain. So you see this mountain far, far off. That's the mountain I want to climb. That's where I need to be. That's the thing I need. Well, there's a journey that's in front of you. And that might be up one mountain just to see, oh crap, I went up the wrong mountain to get to that mountain. I gotta go over that way. So now I gotta go back down this mountain just to go back up over on that side to get to the other mountain just so I can get back over. Mm-hmm. And who knows, you might get over there and just be like, shit, I should have gone the other way the whole time. Right. It's the journey. As long as you believe that's my mountain, that's what I have to do. Your journey's going to be what it needs to be.
You should have gone exactly the way you were meant to go.
Right. And you could have did all of that, and 10 years later something else happens, and you know now that you could just cut through that whole thing. You know what I mean? You could cut half of the time from that because you know that you did all of this extra shit back in the day, and now you have the wisdom to know that I don't have to do it this way. You know what I mean? I could work smarter and not harder. And that's the whole thing. You know what I mean? It's about using your experiences as tools or resources to do better. You know what I mean? If you consistently keep doing the same thing, expecting a different result, what is that?
Insanity.
Okay. All right.
That's what Einstein says. Yeah.
You know, so it's like you can't sit here and just like, and that's boundaries and discernment and all that, because I support all of the people that I love. You know what I mean? But you're not going to come here venting to me about the same thing that for 3 years, like I should even be telling you this. This your life. You've been doing this for 3 years, not me. You know what I mean? So don't get mad at me when I finally do say that, because I've been listening to you. I've literally, some of my family members know you get 15 minutes a week to vent about whatever the hell you want to vent about. And after that time, we're going to go back to other, and it's typically more than that 15 minutes. They probably get like a half an hour, but no, we're not going to do that. You know what I mean? When you come here, we're about to talk about what we're going to do as far as these businesses, as far as this or that. Like, it's all about elevation. What are we doing to better ourselves? You want to go out to eat? You want to, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to soak on gossip. Like, that's all low vibrational stuff. I don't want to talk about other people. You know what I mean? Like, whether it's celebrity or friends or family, I don't want to do that. You know, what am I talking about other people for? Everybody got skeletons. Everybody got shit, you know what I mean, that they would rather not people know they did, or whatever the hell the case may be. Even if that's like kicking, you know, buying thongs just to pick them out your butt. I don't know. Like, it's just your whatever you want to do. You know what I mean? But people
not
got
here
weird,
to judge, bro.
People got weird fetishes and all that. What's weird to you might not be weird to me. You know what I mean? So, yeah. I like, just do what you
maybe they're
feel is right for you.
Oh, you're fucking old school.
Hey,
No,
Silk, I don't know.
it Will Ferrell when they're in the therapist.
Some I haven't even heard of before.
Yeah, the tree of trust, and he starts talking about the girl's panties because he's like, what are you thinking about? He's like, what? And he just goes off on that shit. He's like, what? I thought we were in tree of trust. We're not in a safe space. Wait, what? Yeah, no, that's and see, and that like my big thing about that kind of stuff is like, it's all good if you're going to be this way or that, right? Like you have to have the negatives, the positives. There has to be like balance in between all that kind of stuff. But I mean, yeah, if all you're doing is offering me if what you're doing is only seeing what you don't have as opposed to appreciating or witnessing the things that you do have and being appreciative of that, it's the same shit. The Mahatma Gandhi thing is you can ask him to go to an anti-war rally. He's going to be like, nope, we're good. Not going to happen. But you ask him to go to a pro-peace rally. It's the same shit. Right. He's going to be like, hells yeah, I want to go to that. You know, it's two positives saying a positive as opposed to two negatives saying a positive. Mm-hmm. It's being more honest and succinct with your expression and what you're doing or being impeccable about it. I mean, that's always like our biggest thing is like, yeah, you can sit here and just be like, well, you know, I don't have this and this just happened and it's always this. And it's like, yeah, or you could be like, well, you know what? I'm still here and I still get a choice. And if you can look at what the positives are, if you can be appreciative of like, I always have a choice. It might be a shitty choice, but you know what? I get to choose.
And we could go.
That was number one, be impeccable.
From the 4 agreements, yeah, be impeccable.
Yeah. But not even that. Like, you woke up this morning.
You get to do it again.
You are breathing in here and alive, and there is no RIP, no shirts, GoFundMe's for a lot of people, and that ain't no shade. You know what I mean? But we're so stuck in the moment. We're not thinking about the future and what ifs and the people that come after us. You know what I mean? You on the parkway, people throw stuff out the window and stuff like that. So that's what you would do. I'm gonna do. How much? Do you heard about them noodles? That was around. Y'all didn't hear about like 500 pounds of cooked noodles being dropped. That's around Middlesex County.
500 pounds of cooked. How do you get 500 pounds of cooked noodle all together at one time? Anyway,
like different types separated too.
That's like, you got to try that. That's a really big fucking ramen.
There's like 6 different types of noodles.
That's a lot of hot water to be pouring on that shit. Right. 500 pounds.
It was like a noodle salad bar, like out in the wild.
Yeah. They had an investigation on it and everything.
It was like a noodle conspiracy.
Yeah.
Oh, you want noodle to go? Yeah. What?
I say it's a noodle distraction.
But I'm for it. At least they got some kind of brain activity.
I was thinking pool noodle. So there's like a fucking, and 500 pounds, that's a lot of pool noodle.
Noodles.
Like all them pink and yellow Johns and shit. Yeah. Like all them
maybe it's the leftover set of a fetish party and we just don't, you know.
Dude, 500 pounds of pool noodles, man. That's a hell of a lot of pool noodles. That's like a little mini ball pit or some shit, but with pool noodles for cars.
Like a baby pool?
Yeah, but it's like for cars though. It's like
wrestling. But
you're like, wee, like dumping your car into it. I don't. That's where my mind went. Sorry.
No, I wouldn't be there.
But yeah, no, like going back to the 4 agreements. I mean, we talk about that shit all the time. That was a book that definitely changed our minds massively. You know, because there's just the first in and of itself of being impeccable. There's so much to be said about doing just that. And the to me, like reading is difficult. You know, we were talking about before how like my reading rate and stuff. So it takes a long time. I read that book very quickly and just really grasped all of, like I read it once in like 3 hours straight. And I was just like, holy crap, dude, my life was different. Yeah. You know, because I was also at a culmination of quite a bit of my psychology college work before I really switched over into business and then finished that off. But I was just really ingesting a lot of this stuff to understand myself better, you know, to fix me. Not to say that I needed to be fixed, but to find out who like I am and kind of get past all that kind of shit. And it's just, you know, so reading that book in the way I was able to and the way it worked with me, it just like, yeah, legit changed my mind. Being impeccable it sounds easy. It's a simple statement, but you have to be so honest with yourself. And I mean, you have to ask yourself some seriously deep,
scary,
do some fucked up shit.
It's hard. It's hard.
Who am I?
It's hard.
And you
sit there, you can't even answer that shit. Like, I'm gonna come back to this shit tomorrow.
Yeah, but
like, because it's really like you're digging deep into yourself. Who am I? That's not who I think people think.
You're saying it wrong though. It's I am.
So that's what,
Right.
yeah, my affirmations are a lot of I am and stuff. Yeah. But
Yeah.
But that is because to me, the question isn't so much dark. It's the answer where you have to go to find it. Because typically to really learn a lesson, you have to deal with a very painful moment. You know, that's why some of the greatest performers or people with abilities have suffered the most. You know, like Robin Williams was like this amazing actor comedian, and the whole time he was just mad depressed for decades,
Right.
and nobody ever even like thought about it.
Right.
You know, the happiest clown was the saddest clown, and nobody saw that shit.
Yeah, but that's typically why those type of people are the way that they are, because they don't never want people to feel the way that they do. You know what I mean? Or that they have, you know, and that's one of the tattoos I got on my arm. Be the person that you needed. You know what I mean? And whoever that person was to you, all of us have low points in our lives or our lowest points. You know what I mean? And it bothers me that sometimes people look at it like, oh, well, you had a better life than I did, so you shouldn't even be upset or mad. You had it good. You had it this. And I'm not taking away from your shit being more dramatic. You might have lost somebody in front of you. I'm not taking away from that. But everyone processes their trauma in their life the way that they are going to, you know what I mean? So why can't we accept it together? The point is that we're here discussing our trauma together. Why can't we build off of that instead of you saying, oh, well, you ain't even go through it like that. You had better than I do. Like, it's stupid to me. You know what I mean? Because now we're comparing trauma.
Commiserating.
Like,
Yeah.
really?
Negativity begets negativity. What's the point of being in that cycle? I agree.
And it's just, for me, it's no. Like, you know, I'd rather be by myself, whether that's dancing, like anything that I do in front of people, I do by myself. I dance around, you know what I mean? Every time I take my son a plate in his room, I do a 5-second video walking into his room. And eventually it's going to be a collage of all the times that I did it over the last year. You know what I mean? And every time it's like, oh, thank you, Mom. And his friends like, oh, what's your mom cook this time? Like, oh, she made me lasagna. Or she made me this. Or you know what I mean? But that means a lot to me. Like, you cannot tell me I'm not like a social media, well, not even a TikToker. That's what I feel like I am. I'll be doing a TikTok dancing. About to catch another plane. Anyway, but, you know, I love traveling and all of that stuff. Life is about experiences. Live life to your core. Like, whatever it is that you want to do or, you know, that you feel curious to do, like, try it out. Baby steps. Like, the time is going to pass anyway. You know what I mean? So you can either take baby steps every day for the rest of this year and now have walked the mile and accomplished something, or not, and the time still passed.
I mean, when are you too young to have a bucket list? Really?
Right. Because honestly, when we're kids, the bucket list is just our goals for being adults. You know what I mean? We have bucket lists from the kid. When I grow up, I want to be this. That's your bucket list.
I just figured out what I want to do when I grow up.
Right.
Shit, me, I'm in my 40s and I'm like, aha, now I get it. Cool, let's go do that.
Right. And that's the whole thing. Like, I want to do that now. I want to experience that now. You know what I mean? I don't want to wait until I'm 70 with ailments and this and that. And we got to do this. No, I want to jump out of planes now. I want to go to Dubai now. You know what I mean? I want to go eat weird shit now and possibly get sick and be able to jump back from it instead of, oh, we got to get our fucking health supplies shipped to where we're going. Because no, I want to enjoy now. You know what I mean? Why should we wait till we're in our 70s to be able to enjoy our golden years? Our golden years are now.
I keep saying, like, I don't want to skip out on my responsibilities with my family and everything, but an ayahuasca trip sounds really delightful.
Yeah, proper with like actual shaman. Take like the full trip where you got to like cleanse your entire body. Like
getting through that stuff that maybe like I totally forgot and I pushed, you know, because that's I think that's a dangerous thing when people get used to compartmentalizing issues.
Yeah.
Where you don't even, it's easy to just kind of forget what's already, it kind of blends with all the mishmash of crap that you've been through. With me, it was a lot of head injury. So recently.
And that's just like the top of it. You know what I mean? Because as far as compartmentalizing, like, all right, we have the house. You know what I mean? So that's what they think it is. It's just the house. But now to walk in it, and that's the dangerous part. They don't even know that it's compartments. So you're unlocking things and you don't know how some people might take it. Some people literally go crazy. They rather not know.
There's a reason why I was behind that door. Just like in the horror movie. It's like, don't open that door. Wow, what's going to happen? Don't. You just, no, don't open the door.
Are you ready? Give me that golf club. No, that's not good.
Yeah, no.
So what are you saying in the context of using like hallucinogens or? psychedelic drugs or?
I mean, I feel as though all
Like
of this
teasing
stuff
that?
comes from like the earth. So whatever you feel like you want to do, why not? You know what I mean? I'm nobody. I can't even say I'm nobody's parent because I am. But I am not. I am not a health advisor. This is for entertainment purposes.
Oh, I put disclaimer up.
You know what
No,
I
I
mean?
put disclaimer
But
up on the
I
shows
do
now, so we're
believe
good.
that, you know what I mean. Things are called psychedelics. And, all right, simply put, you know, Google and do your research on Sadhguru and just people of wealth as far as our society is concerned. Anybody that you thought is like dope and genuine, let's say that had some integrity, things like that, all of them have done the same things. All of them. You know what I mean? Once they took shrooms or did this or did that, it's like, oh my God, you know, I thought I was a man, but I'm a man. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, who's the person that said that if anybody who's running for political office has to do ayahuasca or DMT a minimum of 7 times?
7?
Yeah, it doesn't have to be like a massive trip. It's just like, hey, you need to have this in your system at least 7 times. So even if it's just enough that it's just like, hey, all right, we're done. Like, whoa, all right, cool. Because, you know, 15 seconds in there could feel like minutes or hours.
Yeah.
And then,
I mean, it's a good point because I think that would tend to produce somebody that was really kind of leaned against lying in any way, shape, or form.
I think it would bring a very balanced individual out.
Yeah, like.
Well, that's our problem is like so this is the thing that was great about
my own soul, like, and been through that whole, like, whatever, you know, it's like having a monk rule things.
Fucking perceptions. If somebody is not in their right mind, then who the fuck gave this to them? You know what I mean? Like, think about it. Like if a person is a downer, let's say, like, you know what I mean? Just hypothetically speaking, street drugs, whatever, you know, if a person is a downer, you're not going to give them certain things, at least around you. Like, nah, you're not about to do
it's
this.
It's the same as like doing therapy with pharmaceuticals. I mean, if you go to you know, a psychiatrist, I think, or whatever, because there's
like you could give them medicine.
One's allowed to actually give you meds.
Yeah,
and like, to me, we were talking about it earlier. You should be able to maintain an appropriate diet, meaning that you're consuming the right raw whatever from the earth kind of stuff. Like we don't need to have all these processed things. Our body doesn't need that stuff. All these extra chemicals and additives and the packages that it's in. I mean, all these different things. Like we don't need any of these things. It's all a part of consumerism. It's this thing that we're even paying for and working our asses off for. And it's like, why? We're literally working to poison ourselves. Right. It's just, to me, it makes no sense whatsoever. Like I don't
realize too that we're all just patterns in vibration.
I know, dude.
But I also
like,
think
keep a high vibration. You know, like always.
I really respect the wellness community when people say wellness, because wellness is in all aspects. So that's holistics. That's not people just shoving medicine down your throat, because you can think about it. Psychiatrists will give you medications. You go get the prescription, you stick it in your drawer, you never take it, nothing happens. But when we're talking about wellness, let's say cognitive behavior therapy, you know what I mean? When you're talking to people and you're asking them what made you feel this way, what makes you think this way, you know what I mean? That's the main thing. How does this? You literally have to go so deep. You know what I mean? Some people are so lost that you got to remind them when they go on an interview to wear a tie. You know what I mean? Wash. Put on deodorant, you know what I mean? When people have, especially when you take it as far as people have addictions and, you know what I mean? And coming from that, they're depressed. They have a certain life. Every single day is a battle. You know what I mean? So for you to just throw medication at them and think that it's okay, even if they take it, they're still depressed. They're still going through this. They're still going through that. They're targeted. How many people are stealing these medication from people because it's street drugs at this point? You know what I mean? But you're not giving them the tools to think differently so they can actually succeed in society. You know what I mean? And that's where like I come in with the wellness coaching and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I thought it was like just motivational coaching, all that stuff. No, it's the way that we think. You know what I mean? Like you can have two people that go through similar situations and one person can't figure out why they went through that, and that's all that they are. They don't deserve nothing because they went through that, and that's just it. That's their life. Everything negative just happens to them. You have the same person that goes through something similar and they said, well, I know that that's not what I want. I know that's what I'm not going to be. My family is not going to be like that. And they do the opposite of that. Where is the dynamic in that? Who is to choose which one will be Which one? Or why one kid thought is nothing else of me but this demise. And the other one said, even though I come from that, I'm going to be great. You know what I mean? It's all about a person's perception and how it's something in our brain. I honestly feel like it's a light switch, just like on and off. Some people have it, some people don't. You know what I mean? And I like, you know, the jacuzzi when you got to turn it on for the timer. Some people are like that. So it's people like us that it was like a switch. Boop. All right. It's just curiosity. You know what I mean? Curiosity killed the cat. But some people it's like the timers, and you keep literally turning that shit. You know what I mean? Every time they see somebody that's like us, we reset it for them. And we're giving them more time to maybe possibly get into and snap the fuck into, you know what I mean, reality. And some people aren't going to make it, but a lot of people are being forced to. You know what I mean? Because again, it's your bubble. Life is what you perceive it to be. It's so much shit out there if we actually tapped into ourselves and paid more attention to ourselves, and you know what I mean, before we went outside for that instant gratification and all those extra things.
What, every moment in life is a needed lesson kind of thing? Like, just look at it that way. Like,
yeah.
Well, see, that I was going to say earlier with the idea, like, I mean, this is why I think America at its core, when, you know, when we first came together, like when, you know, our forefathers, like the shit that they were trying to do, they didn't get paid to do this. George Washington got talked, you know, for a year and a half to get like talked into actually being our president. He did it, and he was like, yeah, no, I'm done. Now it's somebody else's turn. They're supposed to be rotating. Like these gentlemen, you know, say what you want about their character, the stuff that they instill, the things that they put forward very much celebrates, hey, we're all capable and, you know, should be able to be who we are. I mean, that's the inalienable rights kind of a thing. I'm allowed to be who I am. You're allowed to be who you are. However, we also need to be held accountable. That's where a little bit of like, you know, rules or structure comes in. But even when they wrote their rules and structure, they wrote it in mind where it's literally supposed to be you as the individual have to be accountable. Yes. I mean, they just kept shoving that down. And then I feel like that's the thing that's been lost, you know, because all of what we have is still there and it's still possible. But accountability as an individual and as a collective just seems to be gone.
Right. There is no fucking, excuse me.
That's fucking all right. You can fucking swear all you want.
There is no collective, you know, and even at our age, we're still learning stuff. It's nothing wrong with a wise man know he knows nothing. You know what I mean? Straight like that. Like you can sit here and yeah, you might know more than me in most things, but I'll guarantee you it's something that you don't.
Just caring and focusing on something that you're, you know, you're imagining and manifesting it. It's going to change the way you look at it. Everything's about it's going to be interesting, and you're going to master it. Yeah. It doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah, I agree.
Right?
Yep, because we could go back to the chat lines and all of that stuff. Like, oh yeah, what's good? This is Yaya. I'm 21, 5'7", 180, brown skin. You know, with the beautiful eyes, sweet kissable lips. Like, what? Lying my damn ass off. I wrote that shit down and recorded it over and over again. You can't forget the music in the beginning. I'm a hustler, baby. Oh yeah, what's good, guys? It's what? You know what I mean? It's all about how you present yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Fuck yeah, dude.
Remember that shit?
Fuck yeah, dude.
But again, it takes practice. You know what I mean? Because you're not. I could sit here and I could be sweating in my boots, but I'm not about to sit here and say, "Oh my god, I'm shy. I'm so nervous." Like, no. What's good? Hello. You know what I mean? I might be a little crackly at one moment, but you know, say something else. Let's start this conversation. You know what I mean? I'm gonna show you why I deserve to be in this room. You know what I mean? That's simply put.
Right.
Simply put, I know how to carry myself. You know what I mean? When people are well-rounded, look at her butt. Unbible.
It's just like so big.
It's just like out there.
Unbible.
One of those rap guys' girlfriends or something.
The only reason I even talk to her is because she's like a total prostitute.
Oh my God. I'm doing a paper for it in school, so
of my life.
It's a documentary. You think you know, but you have no idea. This is the diary of tonemotivates. Don't get me started. This is literally the shit that I do in the mirror by myself.
Yeah, but I mean, you gotta talk
what
like
we're trying to capture, right?
You gotta talk all the game about yourself every day, all day. I mean, But you know what? I think to me, like one of the bigger things is you have to have appreciation for it too. You know, to just bear witness to something, to be able to say, yes, I saw this today. To me, that's not good enough. You need to look at it and be like, yes, what did I take from this? Well, you know, what did I receive? You know, I put good in the world. What good do I get back? What lesson do I have? Because to me, a lesson, which, yeah, it can be learned in everything you do. And it might just be as simple as like, you know what? I kept myself positive all day long. Mm-hmm. That's still a good thing. Like it doesn't matter what you're patting yourself on the back for, as long as, I mean, it really is good and it's, you know, beneficial to you and others. But as long as you're just talking the best game about yourself all day, every day, like that's what you're going to have. That's going back to the conversation of your RAC, you know, the Reticulum Activation Center, which you can program with meditation, visualization, and affirmation. I mean, all you're doing is just programming those habits into your body that this is what I want to see. This is what I want to be a part of. Give me more of this shit. Right. And the more finite you can make that, the more things you're going to see for those little things. And it's going to take you in those directions. Right. You know, Warren Buffett's a big thing for figuring out like more or less like path or focus. He's like, dude, write down 30 things that you want to do for the, you know, your future. When you say like, I'm on my deathbed, I did these 30 things. And it's like, all right, cool. Write that list. And as soon as you write it, he goes, take 25 off.
Damn.
And here's the kicker. He's like, those 5 that you keep not only have to still be there, but they have to support other components. Because if there's one thing down that list where it's like, oh, I should have to have done that one first before this, that should have been your focus. So the fact that you have to take it from 30 to 25 is like, boom. And it's like, I got these 5. But then if you only have 5 focuses, which might be like family, career, you know, a hobby, you know, you can group it however you want, right. But you need to have only a minimum amount of focuses, whatever that number is. I'm not saying 5 is the number, but that's Warren Buffett's thing though, is, you know, 5 out of 30. All right, cool. Now go do those, because once you can master those 5 or get them, now you can just start tacking each one of those other, you know, 25 off.
Right.
And even if you didn't, who gives a shit? You got those first 5.
Right.
Those were bomb as shit.
Some people don't even think about that. And they're just like, oh, my life is this and this is that.
Yeah, again, what I don't have as opposed to what I do have.
Right.
You know, because I mean, there's been plenty of times in my life when it's been pretty dire. Like I've been low down. I mean, I used to be homeless and living in my car and shit. Like I've done some stupid shit where it's like I could ask for help, but I didn't because I had too much ego and shit. And like, but you know, we all have to go through those things. We all have to have those moments. It doesn't matter which ones or what or how. Like we got to do our thing, you know. And just as long as, again, you can just focus on the things that you do have, you're usually going to find a way to get out of that, no matter how dire it is, because you're going to be like, oh, wait, I got this. Yes. Oh, wait, I got this. Because if that's all you think about is what you do have, when you need shit, you can be like, oh, and you all of a sudden you realize, oh, I got this. I got this. I got this.
Right. Yeah.
You know, but that's just mindset. Like you said, it's really all it is.
Yeah. You know, and
mindful practices.
Yeah. And you're by yourself in your mind.
Meditating on abundance.
Yeah, but to me, abundance isn't just like I get more money
in any form. Right.
Yeah, abundance is like spiritual peace.
Right.
I get more peace in my heart. Like it just means more
abundance
good.
Broad,
I like peace.
Yeah,
peace
abundance is like, but that's the point of having like golden pothos and stuff. I have it all over my house because it's just all over my house. But it's because it's just abundance. And I mean, I want more peace. Yes. I want more happiness. Well, if I have more abundance, I'm going to have more peace and more happiness, and that's. But you have to, as you resonate on, that's why I also say it doesn't really matter if you do it internal or external, whatever change you make. So if what you see out in front of you is different and it's what you want it to be, eventually it'll work its way inside. Right. But if you work on yourself on the inside, then eventually the things on the outside will start to. Yeah, and it goes both ways. That's why, to me, evil and good are the same thing. Just like happy and sad, and it's
yin yang. It's 69. Like it's to every
ways?
Positive is a negative. For every light, there's a dark.
Because you need it. Because without it, you don't know what either is, and you don't know what balance is. And that's to me, that's the real thing that I'm attempting to obtain is balance.
And sins and forgiveness. I'm a Libra. Lil Wayne is like my favorite rapper.
Dude, you know, he's the king of the couplets. I always say, man, that guy's got 2 lines all day and he just throws them together this way and that and just comes up with some ridiculous
has a plethora of things to talk about. And
yes, he does.
He doesn't have to get paid for it. His mixtapes is hotter than his damn albums. His mixtapes is free. Like he is.
I do.
Look,
He's Lil Wayne.
My age and all of that.
He's got Lil Wayne money.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Sure. God, that's not even Lil Wayne.
You ever hear somebody pronounce plethora?
Plethora. Like the Renaissance fair.
No, when you say
encyclopedia.
The same people that say theater.
No, plethora. When you say plethora, it sounds like a woman's body part. Plethora. Like you said plethora. I'm like, is that what girls from? Don't get me.
No, that shit was.
Don't get
the letter P.
Right.
Plethora.
Yes.
Say it with me. Fucking need some Mr. Rogers on that shit.
The letter P, and I didn't know what direction you were going with that one.
I'm not. I'm not saying.
Down with OPP. No.
Yeah, you know me.
I don't know what's going on.
I was in a depth when I found out what OPP meant. Not know what that shit meant. I really listened to the words one day, like, I'm in my 30s. Why is this the first time I'm realizing what's going on? OPP, how can I explain it? I'm like, what?
Take a break frame it. Yeah.
Right. I'm like,
see, I grew up like West Coast. I grew up West Coast when that came out because they were all about like AIDS awareness and shit.
Right.
So,
but that
was the hot jam.
I've been in Tretch's mom's house. You know what I mean? My sister's aunt made clothes for Whitney. You know what I mean? She is like the second or third cousin of Tretch from Naughty by Nature. So I'm around this shit and still didn't pay no attention to this shit. I'm like, this is ridiculous. Like it truly is. Like this makes no sense. The whole you down with OPP? Yeah, you know me. Never knew. I didn't. I wasn't down with OPP. I didn't even know what the hell. I literally did not know what the hell a OPP meant. Like, I mean, now it's 2023, so it done took a whole nother meaning. The op. You know what I mean? That's not what we were talking about when we were younger. You know what I mean? It didn't mean that. So it's just like evolution of all kinds of different shit. Just like y'all heard of glizzies. Why are we calling hot dogs glizzies? Why not just call it a hot dog? It's a hot dog. I don't watch TV and shit, so I don't hear none of this stuff. I am not about to sit here when you got food on the grill, like, oh, what you want, a hamburger or a hot dog? Oh, give me a glizzy. No, give me a damn hot dog.
Yeah, no. I don't why you gotta change this.
I don't want a hoagie. I want a submarine sandwich.
But that's slightly different. That's technically
a grinder, sir.
Can I have a grinder?
Hoagies and grinders. Hoagies and grinders.
Right,
navy beans, meatloaf sandwich. Sloppy Joe. Sloppy Joe. We love you, Adam Sandler.
Oh, memories.
Lunch lady land. Yeah, sorry.
I feel a tear working its way.
Yeah, that's the meatloaf, bro. What happened? Yeah, breathe it in.
I thought it was the sloppy joes.
Yeah, well, them too.
Because that's like day 4.
It's like day 4. That's what they finally ground everything up into all the leftovers. We're like, here, and I put some gravy on it for you.
Oh.
But no, like because you were saying that yourself. That's why I always joke with the whole. That was so 23 seconds ago. We literally are so inundated with all this different information, but we legit have it at our fingertips. Right. We can be looking up what we want to instead of having stuff just force fed to us. You know, so the ones that are sitting there just like flip, like that's all you do all day long. You're not seeing shit. You're not learning nothing. You ain't like, dude, slow down, stop, look at just a couple of things. Like, come on, like. Right. We all need to just fucking tranquilo, man. Fucking ease up. Like, chill.
You could walk into...
we all need to just drink tequila, I think.
You could walk into a restaurant, you know what I mean? And simply just look around the room. Whoever's in their phone, that's the people that's going to take pictures of their food, all that. You know how many times I'll go out, I got makeup on and everything. Like, for me, makeup is eyeliner, mascara. If I have some contacts in, maybe some lashes. Other than that...
Maybe some lashes.
You know what I mean? So, and I have no pictures. I have a picture for the whole night. Like, but I train because it used to be me, but it's for gratification. Like, oh, so people think that I'm doing this. So do you know how much shit I do that people don't even know about? You know what I mean? Because I'm there to experience. So it's not even like, I'm not sitting there like, oh, I'm not going to take any pictures because I want to have an experience. But you know what I mean? I'm
following
I'm in the present now.
Life.
I did actually look that up, and you can get a TMZ crew in Vegas that will follow you and act like you are celebrities for the entire stay for like $1,500. I did look that up. So I'm not going to stay here and act
pretty
like.
cheap. That's pretty cheap.
And when I get married, like, I wouldn't do some shit like that. Like, I would. Like, fuck it. We going to Vegas to get married? Why not have TMZ follow us? You know what I mean?
I'd be like, is it true? Be like, come on, babe, we gotta go. Come on.
Like running away, like slingshots and all that. Excuse me. Do you? Yes.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Why not? Why not? You know.
Well, dude, I mean, there's like cats on freaking YouTube and stuff where they do that for their own channels, where they just have like guys like start following them and shit, just like trying to get their picture and stuff. You're like, oh my God, what's going on? Be like, you don't know?
Right.
You know, that's Brian Johnson. Brian Johnson. All of a sudden, everybody's just,
right.
He ain't fucking nobody.
Yes. I honestly,
This is fucking Brian Johnson.
Like, what else does he do besides being Brian Johnson and the person that he paid to follow him and take pictures, following him and take pictures?
Yeah, but you don't know that.
Right.
You just like, oh, that's Brian Johnson. I want my picture with Brian Johnson. Nobody wants fucking picture with Brian Johnson.
I mean, honestly, since everybody's audience is in their living room.
Fucking Brian.
You're any kind of creative.
Or in their hand.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
If you're any kind of creative, run with it.
Screen, really.
Run with it. You know, whatever works for you. You know, because I look and see some people sometime and they got 50,000 likes, and it's like, I'm not gonna say why, but it's like, you know, they're regular, smuggler, degular. Like, they're literally on a bus and use a certain ringtone and set the fucking phone next to them on the bus in a different seat and set back and said, this is a guy, by the way. So it's not even a girl trying to be cute. This is a dude. You know what I mean? Over 1 million views. You know what I mean? But for whatever reason, he resonates with his audience. And that's why I try to tell people, like, everybody has their own audience. Yes, you might burn some people with your light, but you're there for the people that you warm. You know what I mean?
So
like,
posing for the phone on public transportation? Is what you're talking about?
yes,
Like,
that's what he did.
Just set it up next to him and.
Yes, it was like it wasn't like a long,
It's
like
Monday.
a live, and yes, it was like
It's Monday.
it was a video or reel or whatever. It was like 15 seconds, and he literally turned it on. He was standing up, he put the phone down, and then he came back and sat down, and the phone was sitting in the seat next to him on the bus, and he sat down like this and did
Like 10K views. Like, what?
Maybe he wanted the companionship on his travels.
right. And I'm thinking, like, I'm just waiting for it to break out to something else, because you know sometimes that should be wild. They'd be like, oh, I want to see that, like, you know what I mean, like, But
I
no,
see some chick watching TV, and she's like, "What do you guys want me to watch?" And then she sits there and just watches TV, and they watch her watch TV. And I'm like,
and she probably goes outside and has gifts sitting out there because they send it to her like that. And look, we could go a step further into financial dominatrix. Okay, honey, you know what I mean? These big time men, you know, they're presidents and all this kind of stuff, and nobody ever tells them no. Everybody always goes with what they want because they are men in charge, or excuse me, people in charge. So they will literally pay money for a girl to tell them, oh, you've been naughty. Take off your headset now. Now take off your t-shirt. We're on Zoom. We're on Zoom, bro. We're on Zoom.
Oh yeah, no,
look,
you do.
Cash at me $1,000 and I'll take. They literally started off with a whole like they came outside from the snow. You know what I mean? They have like literally the whole jackets on and scarves. Send me $1,000, I'll take off my scarf. Oh, you seeing the ching 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 ching? Like,
I always said for 50 grand, I'd give feet pics. I'd be cool with that. But I'm gonna need 50 up front on that. That's my price. It's just my feet, but still, 50 grand for feet pics. You got it. That's all I'm doing though. You ain't gonna get nothing special. Thing. I know. I get feet pics too. People out there paying good money for feet pics.
I do feet pictures.
I mean, hey, I mean, 50 grand is 50 grand.
With other feet.
With other feet.
We were fornicating.
Got a little like foot party.
We been fornicating. Yeah,
little feet fornicating party.
Some toe babies.
Some toe babies.
Where did this conversation go?
To the feet.
Okay.
It's down on the feet. Well, to the toes.
The feet.
Yeah. To the
But no,
I see
everybody.
there's like a funky side to that fetish
I
too.
mean,
Like people who are into like kind of like.
I mean, it's already feet. That's pretty funky.
But that's the whole
feet.
thing. Everybody has their own perception of what funky is. Like we're sitting here talking and playing. Like people don't do this for like they can't get off without that.
Oh
You
yeah.
know what I mean? That's their regular, like what our regular is. You know what I mean? So when that kinky shit comes in, kinky only comes
Sunday afternoon.
in when
Sunday
it's
morning.
bigger than our pay grade, let's say. You know what I mean? That's you say kinky when it's some shit that you ain't never did before or is above what the fuck you done did. You know what I mean? So if you ain't never share a woman, you know what I mean? That's above your pay grade. That's kinky for you. You know what I mean? And people don't understand that. It's really a whole lifestyle out of people that's out here that do that. How did we get to this? Because y'all got me going off on a tangent. How?
Welcome to the show.
I love this reference though. Now,
But it's
anytime I
true.
hear stories, I'm just going to be thinking like, honey's above your pay grade. Don't worry about it.
And look, when people say what it's above me or it's out of my hands, look,
All right.
I'm one of the most fluid people you ever meet in your life. And I don't mean that as like fluid as in like sexuality and stuff. Let's rewind. I'm fluid. You know what I mean? People think that they get a grasp of me, but then I slip through your hands. You know what I mean? I'm just a free spirit. I'm about experiences and life. You feel me? I'm not going to knock something unless I tried it, whatever the case may be. That does not apply for all things. I am a smart woman, and by smart, I do not mean
saying that shit.
By smart, I do not mean books.
She looked me dead in the eye.
Right,
Smart woman.
because a lot of people say smart and they think, no, I have a bachelor's degree in healthcare
No, when she
administration.
was
so
like, it
yes,
doesn't mean
by
everything.
By the book, yes, I am smart, baby. I'm walking around with a motherfucking bachelor's, but I'm not talking about smart as in school. I'm talking about smart as in intellect. I'm a sapiosexual. If we're not sitting here and building on something as far as mental stimulation, whether you're a friend or whatever the fuck else, it's nothing for us to discuss. You know what I mean? If there is not some kind of quality or substance or growth or thought that's brung to our interaction, I ain't interested. Now, granted, you come into you have interactions with all kinds of people. So I'm not gonna sit here and say to kick the kid that's looking at the cereal, you know what I mean, as you walk down the aisle because he asked you for help and shit. Like, no, you know what I mean? But it's about like discernment and shit. You know what I mean? We all are around people that's morons and da. And we all have a moron. We all have morons that we would get rid of, right? But we all have at least one moron that for whatever reason we hold on to. They got some kind of string on us in some way or another. You know what I mean? And maybe that's the person.
Fucking Brian.
I'm telling you, everybody has one. Everybody has one. You know what I mean? It's what was the guy, the Meister or whatever on apple pie? What was the guy that did the Bangkok, like the fucking
No.
The Stiffmeister.
Yeah, Stiffmeister.
Stifler, yeah.
Stifler. He's just a
Stiffmeister.
complete dick. And then one, like, he was really hurt. Like, you didn't invite me. Why not? Why do you think we invite you? You gotta fuck our moms. Like, you gotta do all kinds of shit. Why would we invite you, bro? Focus. Why? You know what I mean? And all this time, he really looking at like, yeah, you are a family, but to an extent. You know what I mean? You have co-relationships in between, you know what I mean? Like group relationships. But look, here we go, going off the grid again.
Well, you know, that's where we, that's typically the signal for the end of the show. It is time to go now, Mac.
Ficky.
Now OPP.
Yeah, you know.
What? Okay. Yay. No, that's not. Yeah, and as always, fam, we love ending the program with be good to yourself, be good to everything else.
Much love.
Peace.
Peace.
Please.
Peace.
Damn it, you changed the prompter.
Mark on the teleprompter.